Have you heard the story of me hunting down the devil? Well, you gotta listen up. But first, I will just say that I have no belief in any devil or hell or Satan or anything like that at all. I believe truly that it is something we are creating the negativity and the cruelty in the world, and we we always would like to blame things outside of ourselves because then we wouldn't need to take the responsibility. And the Catholic Church agree with me on that, or I agree with them. And in 1998, they actually announced, or I think it was Pope Johannes Paul, he announced to all the world's Catholics that hell is not a physical place, but more like a state of mind where you have lost contact with God. And it's a state of mind that you put yourself in. It's not a punishment from God, but something you do to yourself. And if if you use God or the source or yourself, or you lost the contact with who you really are, or you know what I mean. So I totally agree on that. Though I regularly have people in my office crying because they are afraid of going to a physical hell in burn, and I think that is just out there. There is nothing in my understanding that supports that at all. Anyway, a couple of years ago, starting my first Norwegian podcast with my friend. I was working still as a manager in the supermarket, and he was working for me, and we had started this journey, and all kind of crazy shit was going on. We met all kind of people, and we had so many cool experiences. And one of the customers that regularly used this supermarket, an old guy, an old missionary, he just started to talk with us. And in the beginning, we was thinking like, okay, I don't know what he's talking about, but he was telling us what we had done, and what we were supposed to do, what we were doing, and he saw straight through us, and it was really interesting. It's kind of crazy at the same time, and but there was something special with this guy. And he had a fascinating story and had traveled all over the world and experienced so many things. And then he and his wife invited us to their home. And we were like, okay, we're just following the flow here and see what happens. Most people, 99% of the people wouldn't dare to go home to these people, but we did. And we didn't know what to expect, but I understood that he was like preparing. They had made food for us and everything. So we went up there, like 15 minutes away from the supermarket, and we were like a little nervous of what we had started here. And we came home to this apartment, and it was crazy. I can't describe it. It's something you just had to see by yourself. The energy and everything. Good-hearted people, really good-hearted people, but quite special. And we were like just looking at each other and okay, just go along here and see what happens. And it was about to get weirder. So we sit down in this sofa in the living room, and we're sitting there talking, and they have like they are deeply religious, deeply religious, extremely religious. But we're sitting talking, and they are really interesting in what we have to say, and we listen to them, and we can like connect the things we're talking about, just that we are using different words, and so we have a good conversation here. And like we're sitting there listening to these people, and there are some crazy stories of what they have experienced meeting um, all kind of people around the world. So it's getting kind of late, and I tried several times to say that now we need to leave. Thank you for everything, but we need to leave. So at the end, he asked if he can do a little prayer for us, and we're like, nice, that can't harm. Come on, we're ready. Amen. And he starts this prayer. I have never seen anything like it, and I will never see something like that again. Again, with a good intention. That's important. He, with the whole of his body, he like shouts out this prayer for several minutes in languages I have never heard before. And he was so he was talking so much about Satan, that Satan was everywhere, and he had to protect him, and he had to hunt him down. And he saw us like two hunters that was going to take down Satan. A little too much for me. A little too much. I was just trying to have a little fun, experience this spirituality and try to find out what was meant for me. So he ends this prayer standing up with his hands like this, screaming, God, God save, God bless these two dangerous boys in the hunt of the devil or Satan. And he was just, I looked at my friend, and he looked at me, and we saw that his wife was filming this. I need to get hold of that film. And we were like just blown away. And we're like, okay, that's good, let's do it. To him, just said thank you for everything and just got out of there. And we came out on the parking lot there, and we didn't know what to say to each other. So, but I'm a creative soul. The day after, I was preparing for this tour. We was going around Norway on a tour with the podcast. So I decided to create some sweaters, two sweaters, and on the front it was the logo of the name of the podcast, and on the back we had the writing dangerous couple on hunting down the devil. So you can imagine, and I did it for fun, just to try to stretch my comfort zone here. And you can imagine the two of us traveling around Norway with the writing on the back, dangerous couple or dangerous guys hunting down the devil. And we didn't tell, we didn't, we didn't tell people that we are joking. We was going around and playing serious about this. And we got so many looks and comments, and people believed we had gone crazy. But so there's still people talking about this, I guess, the day they met. the guys that were chasing down, hunting down the devil, and still wondering about what kind of crazy guys this was. So, but we ended up having a great laugh, a great trip, and a great fun, and probably waking up some people while traveling there. So again, we are responsible for what's going on here. We can't blame others. We have the responsibility, and we're gonna give this Satan a rest because I think we just have to take the blame ourselves. And anyway, be open for the opportunities. If not, you will never end up in those kind of situations. You can't create those kind of situations. It just happens, and you need to go along with it and see what happens. And I got a good story, and several others got a good stories as well. So just try, jump into it, and do your best.